guys, and welcome to FaithWorks Designs. I'm Faith, and today we're doing something a little bit different. Okay, in today's video we are going to be contrasting between a duct tape pattern, the pluses and minuses of doing that, versus taking a mannequin and making it your own size. So, let's get started. Alright, pluses and minuses of doing duct tape versus doing a mannequin. So with the duct tape, I found it was very difficult if you're on your own. I hear from a lot of YouTubers that when they go to make their duct tape situation, they only have themselves. Unless their spouse happens to be home or their significant other happens to be there, they're on their own. That's one of the drawbacks of using the duct tape version. I had my kids help me, and it went probably just as expected. But they did their best, and they did what they could. By using the duct tape version, you can actually draw out your pattern on the duct tape, cut that out, and use that as a template for your pattern. That's one of the huge pluses of doing this version, and that's why a lot of people choose it, because it's a lot faster. However, once you've used this duct tape pattern, you can't reuse it again unless you try and like Frankenstein it back together. You really can't use it again. So that's another drawback, is that once you've used it, you can't really use it again, and then you have to make a new duct tape pattern every single time that you want to make a new pattern. As you guys can probably tell, I skipped the duct tape pattern because I found that making my mannequin fit my measurements worked a whole lot better. So I went to Hobby Lobby and I grabbed a mannequin because I wanted to do both versions. And I actually accidentally grabbed a mannequin that already had a knit cover over the top of it, which was really, really helpful when I went to go put it all together. Most people that I've seen have had to make their own knit cover, and it was kind of a pain in the butt. So I lucked out. Check your mannequin before you get it. The mannequin that I got at Hobby Lobby was like 50 bucks, so not that expensive, and I'm going to be using her again for more patterns. So what I did was I went ahead and I grabbed some batting and just kind of wrapped it around her, and then I took some stuffing and kind of made her my size. Now you're going to have to measure a lot. You really need to measure, obviously, your chest, and if you have an upper stomach like I do, you need to make sure that you've measured that as well. Then you're going to need to measure from your shoulder to where your underbust is, and then what I did was I took a piece of black elastic and put it where the underbust is, so that there's that indentation there and I know where my underbust is every time I go to make a pattern. Okay, so now you can see without the duct tape on that she has an underbust, so I know where my underbust is, and that way when I go to make a pattern, the couple that I've been making have been kind of cutting off at the underbust, and that way it's just there, it's tucked in. My tummy does go out, but at least I know where my underbust is, and that kind of gives me an idea. Now, the only thing about doing it this way is I don't have an automatic pattern like using the duct tape. So that kind of stinks, but it's really super helpful when I'm going to make a pattern that I can kind of lay everything on here, I can pin it together, take my material, pin it on, and then when I'm done making that pattern, I can now still have my mannequin so that I can go ahead and make another pattern. That's a definite big plus of having your own size mannequin, and she wasn't that hard to do, you guys. Like, this is not my normal day job. So it was really super helpful to be able to do this so that I could get my proportions right, because I measured everything, you guys. I measured my upper belly, my underbust, my chest, shoulder to chest. Like, you got to measure all those things. Your shoulders. My shoulders were really important because mine tend to be really narrow. Every time I buy a dress, the straps are like falling off of me, because apparently if you're 2X, your boobs are supposed to be huge, so or your chest is supposed to be broad, let's say that. And so my chest is more narrow, and so when I did that, every time I buy a dress, the straps would just kind of fall off. So make sure that you kind of measure how wide your shoulders are and where you want your straps to fall. Alright guys, so what did you think? I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up, or if you want to subscribe so that you can see what I'm making with this. It'll be either this video will come out first or the actual pattern will come out first. But I made a modern medieval dress, and it will be out on my website for free, because I'm not an expert at the sizing thing just yet, and so it will be on there. I'm going to show you how to resize it, all of that stuff. It's either coming before this or after this, one of the two. So make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss it out. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section down below. I do check those daily. Thanks for joining us again on FaithWorks Designs. Bye, guys.